Batman, after brutalizing, beating up, and putting Nightwing in a coma, takes on and manhandles the entire Justice League. But he somehow has powers, and Superman's powers to be exact, leaving Superman himself defenseless and powerless. Let me explain. So after a run-in with the Silver Banshee, which Superman and Batman got in a crossfire of, she got her hands on an amulet powered by powerful magic, and using it, she somehow switched Batman's and Superman's powers, which gave Batman the abilities of a fully adapted Kryptonian, and Superman the abilities of a fully grown human male, which in his case is a downgrade. So you would think in this type of situation it would be easy peasy. Boom, Batman gets his powers. Batman then realizes that they need to switch back ASAP, as the DC universe needs a Superman. But unfortunately, the same magical abilities that affected both heroes physically also affected Batman specifically mentally, making the power literally and figuratively go to his head as he slowly starts being more extreme. And even his closest friends and allies start to notice this, which is where we get Nightwing confronting and fighting Batman, and we know how that plays out, with Batman brutally beating him, and in Alfred's own words, multiple fractures, missing teeth. Even under the circumstances, I'm not sure I could ever forgive Master Bruce for this. But Superman, who was still depowered at this point, chimes in, saying, Bruce will never forgive himself. Whatever magic gave him my powers affected his mind. He's as much of a victim of this as Nightwing is, and it is up to us to help him, which in my opinion isn't all that true, as even though the magic is affecting him, he still has some level of conscience and knows what he is doing with his powers, even if it is guiding him in the wrong direction. But as they finish talking, Robin then picks up a signal on the Bat computer locating Banshee, or where her last location would be, with Zatanna. And with Superman eager to go and find her to finally put this behind them, Zatanna says no. Leave that to me and Robin. You're in no shape to go chasing Banshee, Superman. But with Superman being determined, saying no. Just because my powers are gone doesn't mean I'm giving up the fight. Just showing how much of a hero Clark is, with or without his powers. Even though in the state he is in, he can get hurt or killed very easily. But with Alfred, who over the years became just as much as a friend to Superman as Batman has, says, I expected as much, Master Clark, and I've prepared accordingly. With Batman gone, I have found myself with time to spare, so I thought it would be best to provide you with appropriate protection should it become necessary. And I took the liberty of adding a personal touch before we see Superman suit up what looks like a bat suit, a custom made one at that, revealing a House of L logo on his chest, or the classic Superman shield, with Superman standing tall and confidently saying, let's go save our friend. But what has Batman been doing this entire time, you might be wondering? Well, we cut over to see him in front of the sun, recharging, getting stronger. With him thinking, not long after I broke Nightwing's jaw, he also pointed out how foolish I've been. He reminded me that Superman's powers came from the sun, but I've been spending all my time in the dark. But after boosting up like the solar battery he is now, he flies off at super speeds, saying, I feel full. I feel restored, but something's bothering me. I shouldn't need him to tell me I need sunlight. I should have anticipated that myself. Granted, I have had my fair share of distractions. I have spent every waking second cleaning up this world, finally without limits, finally unstoppable. And ironically, just then, he finds out he is very stoppable, as he was hovering above the earth, as a fist seems to hit him, but gets rocketed towards the moon, crash landing into it, leaving a little crater where Batman now is. And with Batman slowly getting up saying, wow, strongest punch I've taken ever. And since Clark is currently enjoying his life as a normal man, that only leaves one possibility. As when he gets up, he sees the entire Justice League as they plan to either talk him out of this, as they too can see the power affecting him, or bring him in and pit him down. And with the Justice League team comprising of Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern Hal Jordan, Firestorm, Green Lantern John Stewart, Red Tornado, and Hawkgirl, they definitely have the means to do it, or at least they think they do. As they are not trying to talk and restrain Batman, nor are they trying to talk and restrain Superman. No. They are talking to a combined version of sorts of both of them. One who has a strategic mind and fighting capabilities like Batman, with the powers and great abilities of Superman, and with the magic affecting his mind, leading him to not hold back, especially against opponents who can actually take it. As seen with Nightwing, they are in for one heck of a fight. And immediately they all get to it, as they rush and dogpile Batman, with Batman thinking in his head, saying, the fools, they think they can take me down? They grab, pull, and punch and shoot like I'm some amateur villain, and I indulge them. The tragedy here is that they're trying to stop the only real hope the world has, but who can stop the Batman? And if they insist on fighting me, I'm going to respond in kind. They're not bad people, they're heroes after all. As you see Batman effortlessly backhand Wonder Woman and crush Hawkgirl's mace, while Supergirl failing to try and choke him out, before Batman throws her into Green Lantern, saying, In the way they fight, they're pulling their punches. They don't want to hurt me. They think I feel the same way, but they're not facing Superman. They're facing me, and I don't fight like Superman. As we see the League retaliate, with Green Lantern restricting him, Firestorm blasting him, and Wonder Woman punching him clean across the jaw. But Batman finally has enough and says, time to end this. Take out the most dangerous one first, as he punches Diana off the moon straight towards Earth, saying inertia will keep Diana from flying through space until she hits Earth's atmosphere. But Batman knows she'll easily survive re-entry and she'll be back, but that gives him enough time to deal with everyone else. Then he immediately goes for Red Tornado. Using his laser eyes, he beams into his robotic skull before smashing away Hawkgirl's oxygen tank, forcing Green Lantern and Firestorm to stop and support her so she doesn't die, which just goes to show how ruthless and out of character Batman is fighting. As if Firestorm wasn't right there to create oxygen for her, Batman would have no way to stop her from suffocating and killing her. Moving on, his next two targets are Supergirl and Hal Jordan. But after seeing Batman literally manhandle the rest of the heroes, Supergirl tries a different approach, saying, Batman, just stop. Listen to me. We are not going to beat you. I get that. But we can't just let you run around doing whatever you want. People are getting hurt, which is crazy because you would think that would be the last thing that would be happening with Batman having all the power in the world and the type of hero Batman is, but also remembering the magic is affecting his mind and the way he thinks. So there's also that. But just then, Batman starts to hear voices saying, listen to her, son. It's not your fault, Bruce. And with Batman being confused and rightfully panicked, like imagine just randomly hearing the voices of your dead parents in your head. And with everybody stopping the fight accordingly, as Batman looks absolutely crazy here, or at least more so than he usually does, Batman starts getting angry and starts yelling, saying, what is this? Some kind of trick? How are you doing this? And with Green Lantern being the first one to respond, saying, I know what you're going through, Batman. I know what it's like to suddenly wield so much power. But Batman snapping back, saying, you're wrong, Jordan. You couldn't handle the power. You were weak. I'm nothing like you. I have the strength of will you've never had. And with Batman still hearing the voices, saying, yes, Bruce, let them help you, Batman frantically looks around saying, no, you just changed your tactics. Brute force didn't work, so now you're messing with my mind. But just then his super hearing locks onto the source of the voices, as he then rockets down to Earth, to that one place he never thought he would go again. Crime Alley, the darkest corner of Gotham City, the place where the Batman was born on the night his parents were shot and killed. And as Batman lands there, he suddenly sees visions, seemingly like he was back in that very moment. But now he sees his parents, his mom, his dad, alive and well, talking to him, saying, oh Bruce, look how you have grown. Your mother and I are so proud of you. You have done so much good for the world. And with Batman being absolutely surprised that they're seemingly alive and in the flesh, he says, you're alive? Of course we are, son. You've done it. You saved the world and brought us back. And with Batman rushing in to embrace them in a hug, saying, yes, that's right, you're safe now. But just as soon as they came, they leave just as quick as they start fading away. With Batman saying, no, stay with me. Literally crying, yelling, don't leave me, as they disappear, reminding him of all the trauma from a young boy till now that he has been through. And while he's face down on the floor grieving, a voice suddenly calls out, saying, you're not alone, Bruce. You're never alone. And the voice is none other than Clark Kent, or Superman, who at this point is still depowered. But with Zatanna's help, and after messing up and getting in a bar fight, they have found the amulet. But it requires Batman to touch it. But Batman, being the emotional wreck he is right now, with the magic affecting his mind, he looks up and says, this is all your fault. That's what you wanted, isn't it? Superman whines about not being human, but take his powers away and he begs for them back. You know what? You can't have them. They're wasted on you. Wasted on someone who spends half his time playing human, while criminals work and people die. These powers demand someone who will never stop. Never. And while Batman does seemingly bring up a good point on how Superman can use his powers for more, using that same argument, it will never be enough, as the Flash himself can't be everywhere always all at once and stop all crime. And Superman responds saying, that's the problem, Batman. You're hurting yourself more than anyone. Time to set this right, as he brings up the amulet, seemingly about to use it. But Batman simply backhands him, saying, give it to me, you poor deluded man, before grabbing it, saying, we're both finally what we are meant to be and will forever be, as he crushes it, seemingly dropping all hope of ever switching back. And now with Superman on the floor hurt, Batman walks up to him saying, go home to your wife, wake up tomorrow, go to work, live your life, and know your world is safe. And Superman seemingly whispers something, saying now. And just then, Zatanna appears from nowhere above Batman, pitting the real amulet on him before saying an incantation, and boom, and just then, a beam of magic strikes up into the sky. And as the dust clears, Zatanna says, "Batman, are you alright?" And as Batman gets to his feet, he says, "You saved me." But Zatanna, not sure if it worked, questions him, "The powers, can you still feel them?" And as we look up, we see Superman float down, revealing his iconic suit, saying everything's back to normal. But yeah, what do you think about this story? As it does bring some interesting ideas. Let me know your thoughts all down below. As always, thanks for watching, leave a like, and drop a sub to stay tuned for all future videos.